Hello everyone, welcome to this part of the tutorial where I'll go over how you can retarget animations from Mixamo into a character that you're trying to use. So without further ado, let's get right into it. To start off, in the characters folder and in the mannequins folder right here, there is a folder called the rigs, and if we click into this folder, we can see that there is an IK rig for the mannequin. An IK rig can be used to retarget an animation from one character to another. And to actually retarget animations, we'll need to use a IK retargeter, which is right here. And I'll get to this in a bit. First, let's go over the IK rig first. So let's open the IK mannequin for now. Within the IK mannequin, if we look at the bottom right, there's the IK retargeting panel. And we'll see a list of things. And these are all the chains that we'll try to match with the Mixamo character that we have, which is the Ybot. If you have your own custom character that you want to retarget the Ybot animations into your own custom character, then you'll most likely have to build this for your own character as well. But you can use the mannequin provided by Unreal, which is this one, as a reference, so we can just check over like all the different chains you may need for retargeting. In order for us to retarget the Ybot animations, we'll need to make the IK rig for it. So let's do that right now. So in our Ybot folder, let me go back to characters and go into the Ybot folder right here. I'm going to right click and then go to animations, and in this IK rig over here we can create a IK rig right here. So let's click on that. Then it'll create a new IK rig, just rename it. I'm going to rename it as IK rig Ybot, like that. And go ahead and click into this Ybot, and from the preview skeletal mesh we can choose the Ybot character. So let's search for our Ybot, put that in. And then you'll see that our character is within this tab right here. Let me extend this tab. On the left side, you'll see the skeleton hierarchy. And with the Ybot that I provided, you might notice that I've added the IK foot bones into the Ybot. And if you download it directly from Mixamo, there won't be these bones at all within your Mixamo character. So there's a reason why I added this 3 bones into the Ybot. That's because without these foot bones, we'll run into some issues later when we want to use the animations for our mannequin. And I found out that it's because it has to do with the IK bones and the control rig node in the animation blueprint. If we unlink the control rig node, it'll solve the leg issue, but the IK feet will not work anymore. It won't be activated, and your character's feet will probably float around instead of touching the ground when your character is going upstairs or when the character is going up an incline. And if we go into our mannequin IK rig, I'm going to show the bones. And right here you can see that there is the IK foot and IK right and left. And for the IK feet to work, we'll need to match our Ybot bones with the mannequin bones. So that's the reason why we'll need to add in these 3 bones into our character that we're trying to use so that the IK system can work on the feet. There's also one more thing you need to do in order to make this work. And if you look at this animation that's playing right now, you can see that the IK foot bones are moving along with the feet. And we will need to have the IK foot bones to be baked with the feet bone, like what you see right here, in order for it to have it work. So the IK foot right will have to be moving along with the IK foot, with the right foot, and the IK foot left will have to be moving along with the left foot bone right here. So that is another thing that we have to do in order to make this work, because we want the IK foot to move along with the feet as well. So what I did was in Maya, since I'm a Maya user, I pretty much made a joint within Maya. And I don't remember if the Mixamo had the root bone when you download the character. So I think it was only hip bone, so you have to add in a root bone as well. So I added in this root bone by just pretty much adding in a bone like this and then making it centered so that it could be a root bone. And then just like pretty much put the hip bone into the root bone, and I added in the foot bones to make the IK foot root, and then the left and right, and then snap the left and right into the left foot and right foot bone over there. And then within this left foot bone and right foot bone, I also made a constraint to the foot over here, so that whenever you move the character, whenever you move the knee, the IK foot bones will also move with the leg as well. So with this, if I were to put in an animation into this file, so let me just drag. So let's just say if I was to drag in the sword run animation within here, you can see that the foot bone is also going with the right foot. I mean the right IK foot bone is also going with the right foot bone over here, so then it will move along with the animation. And with this, I'll just what I did was pretty much I exported this animation out till let's say frame 21, and then input it back into Unreal. So then we have something like the animations that we just saw in Unreal. And let's say if you really don't know how to use these 3D softwares to create a bone for the IK foot or the root bone, well, in the marketplace of Epic Games and the Unreal Engine, in the free section, if you just click on free, like just click on it and sort by the newest first. And if you scroll down, you can see that there's somebody made a plugin for Mixamo and IK Bones retargeting for Unreal. So this is actually pretty new, and it just came out for Unreal 5.2 and 5.3. So if you use this, you could retarget the IK bones without actually going over and creating your own IK bones within 3D softwares like Maya. So you can disregard all the steps that I did just now and then just use this free plugin. That's made by this developer called TLL. It's going to be pretty helpful for people who want to retarget Mixamo animations into their own character with the use of the IK bones. And I haven't used this before, but this is worth checking out if you really are stuck on as to how you can retarget the IK bones into your characters. So there's that for everyone to use. After all that stuff is done, we can continue with our YBot IK rig. And what we want to do is to try and match with the IK mannequin as much as possible. So from the spine and then all the way down to the left leg. All these arm twists, because since our Mixamo character is now set up like that, so we won't need all the twists. But we'll probably need the IK foot. So just try to match up whichever you have with the mannequin as the reference. So starting from spine, let's go back into our IK rig YBot. There are two ways where you can add the bone chains. One is simply by clicking on the add new chain over here. So if you click on this, it'll prompt up this window. And what you need to do is to name the chain. So I'm going to name this as spine, and then you can't click on anything yet, but just add a chain. We don't need a chain. We don't need an IK goal at all. So from that, we can go and select our bones that we want to use from the start bone to the end bone. So it's going to be spine, and then go to spine 2 right here. So if we want to match this has 5 spines, but we just want to go from spine 1 to 2 for our YBot. And another way is to just simply select the bones, like the left shoulder, from the left shoulder to my left hand. I'm just going to select all these bones and then right click, and then there's a new retarget chain over here. If we click on that, it'll prompt up the add new chain, and I'll have all the start bone and end bone already selected. So yeah, I'm going to just leave it as left arm, since in the IK mannequin it's also left arm. So yeah, and also it actually starts from the upper arm. So let me change that up to the arm of the YBot, like that. And then we'll just go down the list and try to match whichever bone chains that we have that can be matched with our YBot. Okay, so here are the bone chains that I have created. It doesn't have to follow any particular order. The main thing is to have the correct names and the correct bones in the chains. So for my spine, I pretty much did these starting from the spine to spine 2, and that will be the end of the spine. And for the arms, I have it starting from the left arm bone over here to the left hand. So these 3 bones right here. That's the same for left arm and right arm. And clavicle, I have its own clavicle bone chain right here. These 2. Because in the IK mannequin, it also has its own separate bone chain for its clavicle. For the fingers, I have it started at the number 1 of the finger bones. So for thumb, it will be started from thumb 1, and then I ended at the thumb 3. Because in the mannequin, there's only 3 bones for its fingers, like these 3 over here. So to match it up, I just use the 3 over here, and then I disregard the number 4 bone for the fingers. It doesn't really serve that much of a purpose anyway, so just having these 3 bones is enough. Right, and that'll be the fingers part. And after the fingers is the leg. The legs, I have it set so that it starts from the left up leg, and same as the right, it starts at the right up leg, and it ends at the left toe base and the right toe base right here. So these 4 bones over here. And for the head, I start at the neck and then ended at the head bone. And also there's also a root bone as well. So in the mannequin, there's also a root bone here. So when you first use Mixamo, there might not be a root bone, so you might have to add a root bone in by yourself as well. So there's that. And then for the IK foot, root foot, it's just pretty much the IK foot root over here. And then the left and right IK bones right here. And that will be all the bone change that you will need in order to retarget the animation from the Ybot to the mannequin, or to whichever your character you are using. Now, next step is to create a retargeter so that we can retarget our Ybot animations into the character that you're using. And in my case, it'll be the mannequin. So I'm going to call the content folder and then do a right click inside the Ybot folder right here. So right click and go to animation and then IK rig. Right here, there's a IK retargeter. So all we can do is to click on that. And then I will rename this as actually IK retargeter Ybot, like that. Now if we double click on it, it will ask you for the source IK rig, so you can know which source is using for the animations. So for this one, I'm going to click on the IK rig Ybot, and next it will ask you for a target IK rig, which is which IK rig you want to copy the animation to. So in my case, it will be the IK mannequin right here. Once that is done, it'll prompt out this window right here. This is the IK retargeter. And first thing you'll notice is that both of the characters are right on top of each other. So in order to move the characters to be side by side, we can go to the target mesh offset over here. Zoom out a bit. And we can simply just move the offset of the X direction to somewhere out over probably like, let's do 200. Right here, 200 right here. So that's how you'll be able to move the characters side by side to each other. Now, next thing you'll notice that something's not right with the pose. And then if you go to the asset browser, if you run one of the animations, you'll see that the animation is kind of wonky, and then all the hands and fingers are not correct. They're all janked up. And there are 3 possible issues that's happening right now. The first is that in the chain mapping, there are a lot of chains that are using like the wrong source chain, which like for the arm twist, which the Ybot doesn't have an arm twist, so we should have none in this section of the source chain. So what we first need to do is to go over all these chains and then figure out if all the chains are correctly labeled together, and then if there's no chains that are pertaining to the characters that are using, then you should change this as a none. So like this one, the left lower arm twist 01, we should have this as none as well, since our Ybot doesn't have that. So we'll just go through this list and then change everything to none. Alright, so I went through and then just made everything that's not pertaining to the chains that I need to none. So if I scroll down the list, you can see that actually there's a lot of different bone chains that I don't need to have anything on. So yeah, just make sure that everything that you don't need, have it on none. And then if you were to look and see that the hands are now more or less janked up, and so that's one of the issues that you might need to do to fix this. So with the second issue, it's simply because if we go to our target over here, which is the mannequin over here, and we go to the edit mode here, we can see that the pose for our Ybot and the mannequins is different. The pose for Ybot is a T pose, and then for the mannequin, it's an A pose. So it's because of this, their pose doesn't match up. So there's a difference between the animations when you try to retarget the animation from a T pose to A pose, which will cause you some issues, like what you saw just now. So in order to do this, we can go in from the edit mode over here. Just simply click on the bones that you will need to use to like kind of edit. So starting from left clavicle, it seems like we kind of need to like have this clavicle to be lift up a bit more. So to probably to let's say I'll just give it a 18 degrees on the Y. And for the upper arm, same. Try to make it as straight as a T-post as possible. And I'll leave this at around, let's see, 36. I think I'll do 36 for this. Yeah. And then for the elbow, since it's like kind of bent over here, and then, oops. And then for the Y bot, it's perfectly straight, so we will want this elbow to be straight as well. So in the lower arm bone over here, let's make this, try to match it up to make it as straight as possible. So maybe like a -30 actually, -30. And then the Y, there shouldn't be anything on the Y and the X, so I'm gonna make this at 0, like that. All right, and for the hands, actually, I don't think we need to do much for the hands. If you want to make the fingers straight as well, you could do that. I'm just going to leave it as 0, like so. And what I'm doing right now is not going to be perfect, it's not going to be exact, because it's just going to be an example for this tutorial. So if we need it to be exact, then I will go through and tweak in the different angles for the hand. So we'll have to do this for the other side of the arm too. So for the left clavicle, I'm just going to match up with whatever I have in the, for the right clavicle, I'm just going to have whatever that's matched up with the left clavicle. So for left clavicle, I have it at 18. I'm just going to copy that and then put that at the right clavicle, like so. And then for the upper arm, I believe I did a 36. So I'm going to copy that and then go to the upper arm right, make that 36. And then the lower arm on the Z is a -30, so I'll just put that as a -30 here as well, like so. So now with that, we have the mannequin in a T-pose. We can go out of the edit mode by pressing on edit mode, and then that will make it as a T-pose, like so. And if we were to run this, you can see that it's still kind of janked up right here. That's because we didn't set a retarget route for our IK-Rig YBot. All we need to do is to go into our IK-Rig YBot, and then for our hips, we'll need to make this as the retarget route. So if we go to the IK mannequin right here, we can see that there in the pelvis there's a retarget route, and we were missing that information for our IK-Rig YBot. That's why when we play the animation, it's still kind of janky, like so. And the root it doesn't know where the root is. So all we need to do is go to this and then go to hips, and then just simply set this as the retarget root right here. Do that and then press save, and then go back to our retargeter for our YBot. And then if we click on any of the animations, actually, you can see that the animations are now working as intended. Actually, there was just one more problem that I found out while I was editing this video, and that is the IK foot. It's not following the foot at all. So if we look at a source, the IK foot bones over here is following the foot bones of this YBot over here, but in the target, that is not following the foot bone of the mannequin at all. And what I found out is that in our chain mapping, we will actually need to go to our foot root IK, these three IK bones. And in the translation mode, we just need to change this from none to absolute. So let's do that. Let's change all these three into absolute. And after you change that to absolute, and then if we play an animation, let's say the sword run again. Now the IK foot bone will follow the foot bone of the mannequin. So we'll probably need this in order for the IK feet to work down in the line when we create this system. And as to how I figured that out, I compared that with the IK retargeter mannequin. So if I open the mannequin folder, and I pretty much just saw that there's this little arrow there. So that means that there's something that's changed within this file. So I went directly into the foot and then saw that before at the default, the foot IK bones will be at none, right? So then that's its default setting, so there's no arrows over here. So that's how I've managed to figure out, oh, it's because the translation mode is at absolute. So when I change this into absolute, then it'll work as intended. So there's that, just in case if you guys are building this for your own character and you can't quite figure out why the IK bone is not following the foot bone at all when you retarget the animation. So that's how you will solve that problem. Now to export animation, just simply click on the animation that you want to export. Go to this export selected animations, click on that, and that will prompt out this window, and then you'll just need to choose the folder that you want to put the animation in. So I will put this in the characters folder and then the mannequins, and then in the animation folder here. And you could add in your own suffix and prefix if you want, or change the name. I'm just going to leave it as default and then just export it. If we go into our mannequins folder and then go to animations, you can see that the animation is now retargeted. If we click into this one, you can see that our animation is retargeted and onto our mannequin character, and things are working the way it is with the where's that? The IK foot bones working as intended as well. So that's how you would retarget your animations to your characters that you will want to use for your system. And this will be it for this part of the tutorial. And for the next video, I'll go over how you can utilize the equip and unequip animations to have a character hold the sword and then sheath the sword back into its unequipped weapon slot. So look forward to that. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Hope you guys have a great day and never stop learning.